Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets,
Present.
Greg Miller,
Present.
Jim Skinner.
Present.
Okay, we have two sets of minutes. I'm not sure, was
The December 22nd
all of
minutes,
us, but the 29th was not.
the 29th, right, Mr. Skinner was absent.
Okay,
And then the 22nd, there was a typo in the section under attorney, the very last paragraph on the page. It says process, and then it should say to sell or transfer. So if you could please pass them with that change.
so I think we have to do it on two different motions. Okay, do I have a motion for the December 22nd regular meeting?
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes of the December 22nd with the corrections as given by Carol tonight.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, next we have the December 29th special meeting.
And I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes as presented for the special meeting December 29, 2025.
Okay, and I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Abstain.
Abstain.
Same.
Okay, both sets of minutes passed. Next, we have the claims.
Mayor, I'll make the motion that we approve the claims as presented.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, those are passed as well. Did we have any public comments? Nothing? Okay, we'll go on to the department reports. Police Department, Chief Shoemaker.
Good afternoon.
Aye.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you. It's 5:03, Jim,
Eastern time.
Eastern time. Real quick, department report. I'd sent an email acknowledging some of the 2025 stats showing that crime itself for 25 is down 17% from 24, and violent crime, which is murder, homicide, sexual assault, aggravated assault, robberies, and whatnot, are down 38% from 2024. We only had 11 incidents that were classified as violent crime out of 780 or so that were reported to the federal government. There's questions about our overdoses, and they're down 6%, and 25 was only 16 overdose responses in the city. 0 of those were fatal, which is down 100% from 24. Also, we had 4 that resulted in some sort of criminal arrest, which is up 33% from last year. Drug arrests are down 10%. I think last year, we had 136 arrests between drug dealing and drug possession. Code enforcement, since we added the part-time code enforcement officer and increased enforcement, our incidents for code enforcement are up 83% to 1,560 incidents. Citations are up 100% from 24 with 749 citations. The vehicles towed from the streets up 52% to 35. Cleanups are the same, but the cost of the cleanups this year were $33,000 that was placed on as a lien to the property. And then mowing is up 45% to 29 yards that were mowed. And also the continuous abatements, which is, I call them the continuous problems. Those are up 100% to 14 that have continued to be monitored so that they don't grow to the problem where the street department. I want to thank the street department under Brian's leadership with the, I know they've had some vehicles that need replaced, some people, and they helped us this year. All those cleanups are taking his people off of their normal job and helping us clean up. So that's, we appreciate that from them. Training hours, we had over 3,600 training hours last year. Most of those in firearms, de-escalation, use of force and physical tactics, and then emergency vehicle driving. So about 92 hours an officer. And most of this, if not all of it, but most of it's completed on duty between calls. Also between calls, there were 10,378 calls, which is up from 2024, but that probably has a lot to do with traffic stops are up 40% to 9,707, up from last year's 6,900. And so citations and warnings are up because of that. And arrests, this year we arrested 847, or last year we arrested 847 people on 1,300 offenses, and 87 of those were juveniles. So that is our year in a nutshell, unless you have any questions pertaining to that or anything else. Regarding the department, Noah's at the police academy. He started last week. We're currently full staff, and that's the goal. We're going to review all of our department operations. It's been 6 years in March when you became mayor, and so we want to check all of our operations, our units, and make sure we have everybody where they should be, and our units are functioning properly and following the mission that I've set out for our department to follow. And so we're going to be the deputy chief and I, the captains, reviewing all of our leadership team and people to make sure they're in the right spot.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Excellent work.
Thank you.
I just want to thank you and your staff and all the officers for all that they do for our community. And as you can see from the statistics, they're working very hard for our community. And I think it's important that our community is aware of what we're doing to keep them safe and to protect them.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the majority of our staff is coming to work every day. They're not sitting around. They're not complaining. They're working. They're doing their job with what they have to do it with. And, as Jim knows, we've over the years have worked on getting them the equipment, getting them the benefits that you've provided with time off and salary. And so I'm pretty proud of where we're at. But we don't want to get don't want to get stagnant. We don't want to get complacent. We want to make sure we keep providing the service to the community that they expect.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And Brian, thank you to your guys for helping them with the cleanups. We appreciate that. Okay. I don't think I have anything.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See.
Okay.
Tom, good luck.
Yeah. Okay, so fire department, and I don't believe Matt's here, and I think he told us at the department head meeting that on the SOGs that he is wanting to wait to present that to us right now, so. Okay, next up, street department.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. It is
I
Metro
don't really have anything exciting, just we're out patching holes, keeping an eye on the weather. We came in on Sunday when we got that little snow on Saturday and put some salt down. Looking at the weather coming in Wednesday, anywhere from less than an inch to 4 inches, they're saying, so we have no idea. Working on spending some time within our department, repairing a building, doing some painting, freshening up while we wait for spring to hit so we can get after it with paving and alleys and all that.
So we made a little bit of a change out there at the street department, how we're accepting things. Could you talk to us just a little bit about that and how that's going?
Yeah, it's going good. We started on January 2nd, just limiting or preventing county trash and recycle coming out. So far, the response has been fine, giving everybody from the county information on where they can take their trash and recycling, which is out to Mulberry Wastewater Plant or Clinton Central High School. They have drop-offs out there. Another big change is Warner's has asked for no glass. So going forward, glass should just go in your trash toter and we'll get that on your trash day.
Because even though we accept it as recyclables, you could not take it to Werner's as a recyclable. Is that
Mhm.
correct? Okay. 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 Anybody
Any
have any
questions?
questions?
Excellent. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, thank
Thank you.
you, and thank your staff for all they do. And thank you for salting the streets and plowing the streets and keeping us safe out there. Okay, building services. Rob, what do you have for us?
Just a couple of updates before we get into the 2025 permit report. Try to skim over that just a minute, but couple updates. Fire Station 4 went out there this afternoon. I have an appointment to go back in the morning at 7:30. They are going to finish the floor in the morning. The living quarters area, anything to do with livable space is already done. They are pouring the truck bays tomorrow and we'll start on that at 7 a.m. in the morning. So they are looking forward to getting that done. When that is all finished, then the framing will begin. So they're excited about that. RISI 7, National Homes is coming in and they are taking that addition over from the Webbers. They are going to build those homes. They will be National Homes. One lot was sold to Gracie Balderas and Balderas Construction. They picked up their permit today to begin that project there. The Riley School addition has one lot remaining left to be permitted. The Habitat Homes down on the end of John Street, 4 of those 7 lots down there are under some type of construction from the footer all the way up to the framing. So those are coming along really well. So that's kind of an update on the progress of a lot of buildings. Our year-to-date permit report for 2025, our office issued 765 permits. And that was anything from street cuts to additions to sidewalks, roofs, all the way up through new builds. We issued 19 certificates of occupancy for new businesses in 2025. We issued a total of 27 certificates of occupancy, which includes those businesses, industrial and commercial buildings, and residential also. So we have a lot of new homes still going up in Frankfort, and we are, at the moment, we are looking pretty good as far as accepting new business and bringing new business in. That being said, those 765 permits that were issued, when somebody comes to, and it doesn't matter if it's a roof, it's a house, they have to put a value to that because that's very important to the city of Frankfort tax base and everything that we look at for the future. And those total for those permits in 25 was just under $14,453,000. So just a shade under that. And our total revenue collected for 2025 of those 765 permits was $68,416 and change. So right now we're dealing with a couple. We have a rollout right now of a new iWorks program that is taking place of City Force. That's our inspection and permitting program. We did start using that today. Baby steps, just some inner office emails and things like that. That looks totally different. So I really appreciate throwing me under the bus, bringing me in with one program and teaching it to me, and then let's change it. So, but that's okay. We're working on that. And as I said this morning at Wesley Manor, we in the city have been strapped with this new bill that has come across, but they also threw one at our office too. and that is HB 1005, which now has increased our paperwork burden, the amount of time it takes us to review plans, issue permits, and also gives the contractors and the homeowners an option of hiring their own personal inspectors if they would like to. But those inspectors have to be certified by the International Code Council. And if they so choose to do that, they pay for all the inspections. And once they start with that inspector, they cannot come crawling back to us. We are no longer required because we don't know the inspectors. We have to be notified that they are certified, and that's it. And then our hands are tied. So there's a lot of changes coming to our office. I don't think we will see a lot of change because we have built quite a bit of trust in the last year. And I feel like those people, especially local builders and contractors, they have a trust in the city that they will continue to come to us and look to us for inspections. But they do now have an option. So going forward, we'll see how it pans out. So, any other questions? You look like you got one, Greg.
No, it would be interesting to hear a little bit more about that because I'm wondering how the continuity of a build will continue by having outside inspectors to come in without you even being able to view that. So I guess I don't know enough about it too.
They will have to, there is a certain amount of documentation that they have to report back to us. But if they start independent, they finish independent. If they start with us, they do not like something that I say there's an issue, they can leave us and go to an independent, but you can't do it in reverse order. And Alicia probably has done some studying on that and knows a lot more about it than I do. But it is going to be a change for our office if people do decide to go in a different direction.
So I think the purpose of it is to allow the residents of the city an opportunity to have a choice, and then also they can kind of decide if for some reason, and our office is really, really good and Rob does a great job and he's prompt and everything. But there are some places that don't have building inspectors readily available, that sort of thing. And I think as across the state, that was a problem that people were running into, that they couldn't get the city to do the work quickly enough, not our city, but other communities. And so this gives them an opportunity to hire their own building inspector to do the work, to perform the inspections, and then they can report back to the community that has been done and provide the necessary documentation, and then they can move forward in that way. I'm not sure how many people will actually go that route because they have to pay for that. Versus, paying for the permit and then the inspections are a part of that process. They're still going to have to get a permit. They're still going to have to report things back to the city, but they would just have their own person come out and do the inspections. The inspections have to meet our standards, so they can't cut corners or anything like that. And they still have to provide paperwork back to the city, but it's just providing them an alternative if for some reason they didn't want to use the city building inspector. So.
And builders pick them. I've dealt with 5 or 6 different ones out of town. Majestic Citation, Temptus, National, TK. It doesn't matter the builder. They cannot employ an inspector. So if they use one, they have to hire outside, just like everybody else, an individual. They cannot have an inspector, a paid inspector on their payroll. It does not work like that.
So it's possible that they'll contract with somebody and say, hey, we're going to, have you be an independent contractor. You're not on our payroll, but you're going to be the one that's going to be doing the inspections, or we're going to agree that you're going to be kind of our select person. It'll be interesting to see how quickly these inspectors are able to get things done and if it's going to be advantageous to the residents or not, but it does give them an opportunity to have a choice. The idea that they pick the outside inspector and they can't come back to the city. I think that's really a protection for the city, just because then we don't have a mess on our hands that something was wrong and now Rob has to come in and be the bad guy and tell them, oh, hey, this is not correct. They get their inspector and then they have to stick with that. And I think that's probably a good thing overall. But there are a lot of, Rob kind of alluded to the paperwork. There are a lot of new rules regarding what documentation has to be provided and when and how. And so I have worked with Jay and Liz and our office to establish documentation for both offices so that everything in Clinton County is uniform between the Area Plan Commission and the City Plan Commission as far as opportunities to waive some of the required paperwork and that sort of thing to try and streamline it for the building services department so they don't have so much paperwork to do. So we have worked on that, and I think that that is going to be the best that it can be based on the laws that are presented. But yeah, it's a lot of changes this year that building services is going to have to cope with.
Am I correct in saying that there is a paper or paperwork that they have to declare up front what they're
Yes.
going to do?
Yes, they have to decide I believe when they get the permit, whether or not
Correct.
we're going to
I just
inspect.
want to make sure I was right on that.
Yeah, they have to do that as part of their process. And then one of the new laws is that emails have to be sent out within a certain period of time before permits are granted and plans are approved and all of those things. And we have a number of people in our community that don't use email. So one of the things that we created was a waiver that they could just waive having an email to cover the building service department's rear end, because the law says that we shall send the email. And if they don't have an email address or they prefer not to have an email, we didn't want to have to be liable for that. So we did create some things for that purpose, and we've been working with our county partners as well, just to make sure that we're all on the same page with what we're doing.
It has not come into play yet, but we're early. 2 weeks into
Yeah,
the year.
we've been
so-
planning. We've been planning for it though, to make sure that we're ready when it does.
So these independent inspectors are familiar and knowledgeable on our local and codes and ordinances?
They will have to be.
Yeah, that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
There's
There is the certification part of it. There is only certifications through the international code. Okay. There's some building inspectors. When I started testing, it was under the 2018. It has now changed to the 2021. Okay. There is also a 2024 test out there. So you now have all these different building inspectors that have all these different certifications in residential, because it only affects residential. Okay. Indiana adopted the 2020 Indiana Residential Code, which is the 18 international with additions and deletions. So Indiana adopted their own. So if they are a certified inspector residential, they should already be versed and studied up on the 2020 Indiana, because very few times have I had to go to someone else and say, what does the ordinance say? It's, we adopted the 2020 Indiana residential, and that's what I enforce.
Right.
It's not very seldom do I have to go back in.
Right.
I mean, we refer to the UDO when it comes to setbacks, how close porches can be to the street or the sidewalk, or a fence in your side yard. If you're a corner lot, well, is this the side yard or is this the side yard? We fight that kind of stuff all the time, but that has nothing to do with building permits. What we inspect basically comes out of the 2020 Indiana Code Book, and that's what's enforced.
And they are required to be certified, so they should know that information. And they're also required, the statute says, although I'm not exactly sure how to enforce that since we don't inspect anything, but they're supposed to do it to our inspection standards. So to the extent that anything would be different, which it isn't, from the 2020 Indiana code, they would have to follow that.
And not necessarily to the extent maybe that we would inspect something, or maybe they inspect something further than what we do. They dive into it a little bit further than what I will. They still have to follow our when you come and get the permit, we write down the inspections on that permit. Same thing. The independent inspectors has to follow that schedule set forth by our department. So there is going to be some of the things that are the same, and I'm sure there'll be some things that are different, but we'll just have to address all those as we get more into it. Hopefully it never happens, but I guarantee you at some point it will. So just the way people are. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Matt, we passed you up, but since you're here, I thought I remembered you saying at the meeting the other day that you were not going to do the SOG or
I brought them with me. If you want to look at them, we don't have to approve them tonight. It's just something I wanted you guys to at least see. And that, yes, we did say that the other day in the meeting. So basically, I can just start there real quick. I do have copies that I will provide to you guys if you want. I've sent emails as well. We are going to try to get these approved. If we want to wait till the next meeting, that's fine. But I'm sure that some of it you're just going to look at and go, yeah, okay, sounds good. But as you can tell, these are going to be the new SOGs for the fire department. If you look at our past SOGs, I think they're probably about 16 to 18 pages long, and these are over 90 some pages. So we put a lot of work in this in the last 8 months or so, really trying to get them up. So I'll leave these with you tonight. We don't have to approve it. I'll just drop it off with you and you guys can look at it. And again, I sent it to you in an email as well, so you can look at that. It might be easier than going through this. If you don't want this, you can just look at the email. Greg, you might want it, because I think with the whole transition of
Me too.
everything, I lost your email again.
Oh,
So
I know. I lost
Yeah.
some emails too.
tons
so,
of stuff I
yes,
lost
yeah,
when that transition took place.
Unfortunately.
To give you kind of an update on the fire department real quick, I had sent out that end of year report for the fire department. Just kind of briefly going to skim through it. I'm not going to read everything to you, but when it comes to incidents, we've increased about 8% in 2025 compared to 2024. One of the biggest things is if you could look at structure fires, though, we're probably down about 12% on structure fires, which is actually the good thing for us when we look at it. For the most part, I can tell you that I don't think we've lost any home this year at all. We've been able to contain it, and obviously those people get the rebuilds done and get back into their homes. Biggest thing that you probably did see is our training. Our training actually from 2024 increased 73.7% from 2024. So every single year, we have actually increased our training considerable amounts. And for some crazy reason, probably more because of the fact that we did a lot of rope rescue last year, that we really increased those hours of training. Any questions on
No,
that?
but I appreciate all the training.
No kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Good.
You can never overtrain.
No, you can't. And, a lot of this goes to the guys that are working, the newer lieutenants that are doing these classes, but also our training officer, Jeremy Warren. I mean, he's really put a lot of time into making sure those programs are at the standard that we require of him. Last, and I'll just leave it with this, station, if you haven't heard much about Station 4, we're moving along. I just got word from Rob even today that it sounds like they're probably going to pour the rest of the concrete tomorrow. So that's kind of exciting for us. They are telling me that once that's done, they're looking at probably, I'm going to say another 6 more weeks, and I think we'll probably see some more framing going up. He kind of gave me a timeline on their end, but again, everything's subject to weather. And Engine 3, still waiting to get that phone call to go to Florida. So that's all I'm waiting on. As soon as they tell me here's your airline, I'm gonna go ahead and go to Florida and inspect it. But I expect to see that in the next 30 to
Good,
45
that's
days.
exciting.
So,
Yeah.
any questions? Okay.
I will take one of those.
And I will
because
too.
I'll just get it to you.
I don't have any email. It's all blank.
Oh, with the changeover?
Well, I have zero.
Sorry.
So,
I lost a lot of email addresses.
I just don't have like all the email that we've had in the past, like Keith.
Mhm.
nothing's in there.
Oh, no.
Maybe give Shane a
Shane,
call.
yes.
See if he can help you recover that.
Hi, Emily.
Hello.
Do you have the Parks Department then for us this evening?
I do.
Okay.
We first off, we need to ratify the part-time labor position.
And they have Deanne working, right?
Yes.
Okay, can we say their name then? Or,
Have they passed their drug screens and everything?
Yeah.
they're working.
They started
Yes,
last
they
Monday.
started
Okay,
Yeah.
then yes, you can.
Okay,
Camden Harrison.
okay. Do I have a motion to ratify that hire?
I'll make a motion. We ratify the hire on Camden Harrison for the Parks Department.
No, second motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay. Got
Awesome.
that.
And then just for a few park updates, we're continuing to take down Christmas. I think we have the tunnels left, and then some other smaller displays, but the biggest thing is the tunnels. Cleaning up and getting ready for some spring projects, and one of those would be converting our greenhouse into Christmas storage. We're not currently using that greenhouse, and we want all the Christmas stuff inside this year, so everything will be covered
Good,
this year.
good. That's good to hear.
That's good.
Once that project's done.
Yes. Thank you.
That's it.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, community development, but Kimberly's not with us this evening. And I don't think I had anything. Did you have anything from her? Okay, attorney.
Okay, I have two things. The first one is an engagement letter from the appraiser for the police department. Last time you had approved me going ahead and hiring them to do an appraisal of the police department. That engagement letter just needs to be signed so I can send it back to them and they'll get the appraisal started. So you already approved the price and everything and you approved that company. It's just for your information. And then the mayor will need to sign that. The second thing I've got is I created a document that lays out what the different options are as far as transferring the police department or disposing of that. I don't know if you want me to go through all of those different options, but essentially the option one is sale, second is transferring it for economic development purposes, and then the third would be transferring it to a nonprofit corporation. So that kind of outlines what we have to do if we want to do any of those things. I think after we get the appraisal, you'll be more informed on what options might work better than others, but that's just kind of an overview of what can be done based on state statute.
So I wonder if this is something that would be good for the department heads as well in case, I mean, sometimes we had asked
Yeah.
if they can sell things, transfer it. So
Yeah,
you
and
may
this
want to
is-
get a copy of this.
This is specific for real estate, but yeah, I think that this generally is just a good overview of what we can do with real property. One thing I didn't put on there is that we could transfer it like within, departments and things like that. Like if I know that the redevelopment commission, for example, was interested in it. That's one of the things that we could do. And I didn't include that in here, or it could be used for some other, like if the fire department suddenly had an interest in the building for some reason, we could always repurpose it in that way
Want
as
it
well.
back.
But
The old police department.
You want to help with the renovation?
Rob wants it.
Rob wants it. Oh,
Question about that,
Yeah.
about that document.
Mhm.
Would that be the same thing that we would use on our Varner Street property if an individual was interested in that after we take possession?
Well, we won't actually get possession of the Barner Street property. So we don't, when we do the court case that we're proceeding with Barner Street, we don't get the property, we get a lien on the property. So we take down the property and then we just get a lien on it, but we don't actually acquire the property through that process. So, but if we were to acquire it via like tax sale or something like that, like if it went up for tax sale and then the city decided that they wanted to have it since we had that lien and we acquired it that way, then yes, that is the process that we would use. And any other properties that we acquired and any sort of tax sale or that sort of thing, that is the process. Yes.
The current owner would have to be the ones to sell that property.
Correct.
And then at that time, that's when the city would
Correct.
get any lien that they.
Correct. So we file a lien on it, and then if the property is sold, then that lien would be paid off from the proceeds of the sale before they could sell it.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is anywhere, I mean, regardless of which method could be used, is there anything that could be implemented into that would say there was a property use for whoever this would go out to buy, or if we transfer that, is what they may have in mind for the use of that property, so we would know?
Yeah. If we did, for example, if we wanted to sell it and we have the bids, we could put language in there that says that we want in the bid, you know, the minimum bid is X, and we want included in the bid what your use for the property is, da, 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 da. And we have the ability to reject all bids. So we could have, you know, some say in what they used it for, but we could include, you know, that we want a plan associated with what they're doing with it in addition to the bid. So yes, you could do that.
Yeah, it'd be nice to know that if that coincides with what the city would like to see it used for.
That we could then
yeah.
accept that bid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then if we would transfer it over to the redevelopment commission, that's
Then
different.
then the redevelopment commission would be responsible for that. So
process.
these processes would just be if the city wanted to move forward with something on its own. If it transferred it to the redevelopment commission, the redevelopment commission would be responsible for any future action taken with regard to that building.
Which is what we did at the main hotel, I believe.
Yes.
It went to the redevelopment commission, and then they were able to do with it whatever.
Right. And they have a little bit more leeway than we do on negotiation and things like that. So
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so as soon as I sign a copy of this, then they will do the appraisal.
yeah, if you
Okay.
sign that and get it to me, then I'll send it back to them
Did you have
and
one? Okay.
we'll get it taken care of.
Okay. Did you have anything else for us?
Nope, that's all.
Carol, I did see that there's the
Yes.
encumbrances. Did you need to talk to us about those or?
Yes, encumbrance number 2528, which is the second from the bottom for Invigorate HR. There was a transposition typo in that number. It was shown to you as $21,249.50, and it's actually $21,429.50. So I wanted to amend that if you were acceptable.
So we could just amend that, the encumbrances for 2026 from the ones that we approved on the 29th,
Correct.
right?
And it did change the total by $180.
And all that money was there, right?
All the money was there. It was just simply a typo on the form that you're looking at.
Okay.
This now matches what's in the budget.
So could I get approval on this encumbrance list?
Yeah, I'll make a motion. We approve the 2026 encumbrance list that's been amended as of today on the PO 2528 of the $200 difference. And I'll make a motion that we approve the amendment.
Thank you.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, do you have anything else?
I do not.
Does anybody else have anything? Okay, I'll take the motion.
I'll motion, we.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming this evening.